Hey, my name is David Thule. I'm the CEO of Geolumina, and I'm here to show you the Envision Viewer. And specifically, we're going to talk about adding and subtracting tags in this video. One piece that I'd like to mention is that there are two special buttons up here at the top. The first one is these four arrows here, and that resets the view. So sometimes if you get kind of like deep in here, you can kind of get lost. And just resetting the view will take you back to this original oblique view where everything started. The other button, removing check marks, is that'll take away any sort of selection that you've made inside the viewer. So, I can shift and click to draw a selection over everything, and if I pin those, they turn green. That means they're actively selected, and if they're actively selected, they're available here in the Show Images tab. They're available to add and subtract tags to, and things like that. If I have a bunch of things selected and I don't want them to be, I can check that remove selection checkbox, and everything becomes deselected. And again, if I choose show images, it'll tell me that there's nothing selected. So those two buttons are really important in the assigning tags sort of workflow. So my tag selection is actually down here, sort of below the system, because I'm working on a small screen to show you this video. But let's show you how to kind of add and remove tags. And maybe the approach for going about this might be different depending on what your workflow is and what you're working on. But one workflow I really enjoy is that if the AI tags, let's turn something on, let's say the chromatograms. And perhaps I have a job today where I need to find all of the chromatograms that show biodegradation. Those have a diagnostic look where there's this, uplift to the baseline of the chromatogram feed. And maybe, this is great. I don't have that many, but your company might have thousands, tens of thousands, or hundreds of thousands of chromatograms. But what we can do is we can use both the opacity slider to get rid of the visual clutter, and we can expand the X and Y scales in order to create some isolation within the group. And what we might find is that if we start hovering, we'll see, okay, these are pretty normal looking chromatograms. And if I hover here, these all look pretty good too. So, okay, how am I going to maneuver my way through this? Well, one opportunity I have is to expand this sidebar and show images and then work my way through them in a grid-like fashion, like you might be used to in a Google search or something like that. But a way that I recommend is if there's already something that's labeled with the tag you're looking for, is you use that as a visual way to cue in. So the user tags and the AI tags are intersectional if this little slider over here is turned on. So for instance, I can just turn on the biodegraded tag and I'll see that, okay, there's a group down here that are biodegraded oils. And if I show images, I can in fact see that all of these show that unresolved complex mixture and all of the telltale signs of biodegradation. And where might I start looking for other things that are biodegraded? Well, it would be in tandem or nearby those ones that were already identified that way. So if I hover, I can in fact see that some of these are showing the telltale signs of biodegradation. So this is a good place to start actually and work my way through it. So if I get in here and I can explode them a little bit bigger, and I'll zoom back out and I'll re-cue on what I'm looking for, is I can start hovering over things, and I can see, if any of these ones that I might run into have some of that unresolved mixture. So that's a good way to start. And, this one is maybe gently biodegraded. So if I like it and want to add it, I can click it here with my mouse. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to deselect the chromatogram tag, and I'm going to deselect the biodegraded tag. And what that's going to do is it's going to leave me only with selections on what I've previously clicked. So again, the selection of my mouse clicks is separated from the selection and turning on and off of the AI tags. So that allows me to whittle down with the tags, make ancillary selections and then apply a tag. So if I want to apply a tag, I can choose this plus button down here. It says assign tag when I hover over it. And I want to use the current selection because I've selected what I want to assign. So I can do that, and I can click on the biodegraded tag. I can assign it. It will confirm that that is successfully done. And now when I hover over that, you can see that biodegraded is now in fact in the tag set. If I want to remove that tag, I can hover over this remove tag button. It's the tag with the slash through it. Again, I'm going to use my current selection, and I can select biodegraded, and I'll remove it. And that tag will be removed from that particular image. You can see it's no longer there when I'm hovering. And I haven't affected any of my other tags. So I can click the deselect button. I can turn chromatogram on. I can turn biodegraded back on, and you can see I'm back down to that original setting. If there isn't a tag already in the tag set that I want to add, I choose this plus button over here. That's for creating a new tag. And I get a category. I can type anything I want in here. I'm going to type demo tag, and I can choose add. And you'll see it's now at the bottom of my user tag list. Right now, there's nothing in the data set that is, that has that demo tag on. So when I turn it on and off, nothing happens. But if I go back maybe to my chromatogram data set, and we want to talk about all of the ones we're doing, so I'll push shift and I'll drag a box over these. Anything that turns purple is kind of tentatively selected. If I pin them, it means they're actively selected, and I can turn off the chromatogram tag, and in fact you see all of those things that I've actively selected are still there, and I can assign a tag to them. So again, I'll use my current selection, and I'll assign that demo tag, and I'll choose add. And if I deselect, they'll go away. But if I turn demo tag on and off, now they are there and available for me to use. You might assign tags for depositional environments or asset teams or prospects that you're working on. They might be about depositional models or different visual collateral that you might need in a project. So the user tags are a great way to kind of keep and segregate items. The beauty of them overall is that the tag format is that they're very low overhead. So for me to turn on and off a set of tags that are intersectional is a super low drag way to perform search. Basically, there's no calculation cost. You're not incurring any, if I was to type in, core and 10 sleep formation and Wyoming into something like cognitive search, then it would have to go through all of the words and all of the information live and on the fly in order to try and present to me the things that I want. But in the NVZN system, all of that has already happened because the artificial intelligence has crawled its way through and structured the information. So this is a very low drag, low cost way to implement very complex search in real time without having to incur any of the computing costs. So that's how to use the AI tags and user tags in concert, how to add and subtract them. It's a pretty valuable prospect. So thanks for following along. And I'll see you in the next video where we're talking about the value-added data that comes from the artificial intelligence behind NVZN AI.